here, and this is Killer Kyle. And I thought, last week I said this would be the last episode of Wheels of the Fury until our Christmas special.
Right.
I lied! Anyways.
Well, nah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought about doing this, but then I was debating because I'm going, these matches are like fucking too short. Like there's 3 matches on this card.
Yeah.
Of course I'm talking about 2022 Tribute to the Truth.
WWE's annual holiday tradition, Tribute to the Troops. And I do believe this year is the 20th anniversary of Tribute to the Troops.
And that's why I thought it would be a good idea to do this episode. I mean, I know we did one last year. Right, it was a fuck of a lot more matches. And I mean, it's your 20th anniversary. I don't understand why there's only 3. Like, what's the other filler? I don't get it.
Unless it's only going to be like an hour. Well, I mean,
it said from 2:30 to 3:30.
Yeah.
So,
well, depending on the length of the matches, plus commercial breaks, yeah, 3 matches seems about right.
yeah, I mean, there might be more, like, musical guests.
Oh,
or
yeah.
It's going to be in... I can't remember. Anyways,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. But before we begin, we must have our record courage. Bing! So, and this is good beer too, by the way.
Aye.
Local beer, and it's a blonde.
Yes.
So, anyways, no time like the present.
To 20 years of Tribute to the Troops.
Yeah. And like I said too, it's a concept.
Right.
It was JBL's idea.
Yeah.
It's nice to go back and give thanks to the men and women of the armed forces. And I mean, it's one of those things too. They look forward
Oh, yeah.
every year around this time to have the WWE perform for them. And, they get ready, they set up the ring, they set up the stage, and yes, you know what, it is very risky to go down there, but at the same time, you're doing a good deed.
Yeah.
So,
And especially for people that are in the WWE right now, and I'm sure there have been other WWE superstars over the years in WWE that served in the United States military. You got Lacey Evans, who was a Marine. You got Bobby Lashley, who was an Army Ranger. Montez Ford was... I think he was a Marine as well, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, oh yeah.
So...
Yeah, so there's a lot of them in the military.
Yeah.
AJ Styles came from a military background,
Yeah.
so...
yeah, AJ Styles, Shawn Michaels,
Yeah.
several others.
But anyways, here's to the troops, and here's to the video. I'm not wearing my Will's Fairy glasses because I didn't know which way this was gonna go.
Yeah.
But whatever. Nostrovia.
That's true of it. And I was talking with Matt the other day about, on YouTube, I watch a channel called Good Morning Mythical. And they were doing an episode where they were talking about things that are no longer in existence, and like what year they went out of business, so to speak. And one of the things that was brought up was the World Wrestling Federation and when it became World Wrestling Entertainment. And everybody knows, being a wrestling fan for a week, a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
their whole lives, the World Wrestling Federation became World Wrestling Entertainment
Yeah.
in 2002. So it's like, at first it's like, oh yeah, okay, World Wrestling Entertainment, and then you kind of just go through the motions and you don't really think too much about it. And then, just watching that and thinking about it, like, holy fuck. It's been World Wrestling Entertainment now for 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really fucking insane to think that. And I mean, everyone always bitches about the product every year. It seems like you have to either adapt or perish as a trademark, I guess.
Yeah.
You have to develop. You have to change.
Evolve.
And I mean, that's the thing. And it's like bands, it's like everything else. And sometimes it works and sometimes it won't work. And I've been a fan for over 20 years. And I think that I still enjoy the product. Yes, there was a time where I became, I guess you could say
Casual fan.
Yeah. So, I mean, that happened, and yeah, it's one of those things that, it's kind of, you know what, and I thought about this the other day too. The WWE is comfort food.
You could say that, yeah.
Like, for myself anyways, I can't not watch it.
Yeah, like, Matt and I were hanging out, this was a few weeks ago, and he was kind of having a crappy day. His night was kind of not off to the greatest start, if you will, and we had ordered Boston Pizza, I think it was, maybe.
Yes, it was.
And he was like, man, I feel so much better, I'm in a better mood. And I was like, hey, that's why they call it comfort food, brother.
Hell yeah. But that's like the WWE. I mean, like it or not, they can have a good product. And
Oh, yeah.
I think now that Vince is gone, now there are rumors that he's coming back, which I doubt it.
Well, see, interesting to bring that up because we had talked about that, and then I'd seen something on YouTube. I didn't really go in depth about it, but I had seen that the WWE had rejected his decision, desire, if you will, to come back, and I was like, I don't blame them.
No, not at all. Yeah, no, the product is getting better now that he's gone, and that's unfortunate to say, but when you're 77 years old, you tend to lose it. Like, it's true, you lose it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, give credit to Triple H, Paul Levesque, he is a wrestler.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. So, yeah, because we're probably going to do a Facebook Live or something, either.
Yeah.
Well, if we end up doing a play-by-play, so.
Yeah. And it's not to say necessarily that Triple H knows more about the business than Vince. I mean, Vince has been around the business his whole life.
Yeah.
Since probably he was my age at least.
Yeah.
So about early, well, yeah, you can say like mid-30s to like, 75, 76 years old.
Yeah.
So that's, 40 plus years.
Yeah.
The man knows the business inside out, upside down, left to right, right to left, flips you do the loop to loop and all this other stuff. But I think Triple H has more of an understanding of the wrestlers and what they would want and what they would need and all this other stuff, having competed himself. Now, yes, Vince did compete periodically from time to time, but Triple H was more consistent.
Yes.
I mean, Vince competed for, off and on for probably 4 months, I'll say, roughly, and thereabout. Triple H competed up until he had to retire. Well, as time went on and he was, doing the COO thing, he wrestled less and less. But he would, do matches here and there from time to time. But he wrestled, you could say, fairly steadily for 25 years.
Yes.
So, if there's anybody that would, have an understanding of the physical toll, the mental toll, and everything in between, it would be Hunter.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I mean, we'll see what happens in another 10 years, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be an interesting couple years to say the least.
For sure.
And we had to do this, not really rant, but
Discussion.
But anyways, let's get to it. Tribute to the Troops 2022.
Yeah.
So we have a tag team women's match. We've got Tamina and a returning Emma taking on Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Emma returned fairly recently. It doesn't seem like she's been on too hot of a streak
Well, as of right now, no.
since coming back. We've given our opinions about the whole Tamina situation till we're damn near blue in the face. So there really isn't much to add to that.
No.
Hopefully things will go better in the favor of Emma as time goes on.
Yeah.
It's nice to see Shayna Baszler be more aggressive and, how she was, let's say, her NXT days.
Yeah.
Ronda, oh God.
Yeah.
We saw the fucking shit show she put on with Shotzi Blackheart, the Survivor Series.
Yes, the Survivor
So
Series.
last month.
Yeah. The thing that I'm struggling to understand with Ronda is that people are always saying she doesn't give a shit about the wrestling business, this, that, and the other. I mean, if she didn't fucking care,
Right.
then after she had her daughter, she wouldn't fucking come back.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could say that about Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
The difference between an MMA fighter and a professional wrestler, well, there's a huge difference. I mean, you look at Marina Shafir in AEW, and people go, "Oh, but she doesn't show emotion in the ring. She just gets blank stares and all this other stuff." And
She's more serious.
and she's
well,
more serious.
It's not so much that she wasn't serious in WWE, but it's more of that fighter mentality, so to speak.
Well, yeah. And she doesn't sell. And I mean,
No.
whatever. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
So there's that. I think, yeah, Ronda's had a lot of opportunities. She was the Raw Women's Champion. She was the SmackDown Women's Champion recently.
Right.
There's not too much else you can do with her. And
No.
that's unfortunate. Like when you look at AEW, they have way more women's titles on there. And now that, Ember Moon / Athena is your Ring of Honor Women's Champion, you'll probably see that a lot. Well, you're obviously going to see that a lot more.
Right.
So yes, if they had another title, that would be pretty cool. And I think
Right.
there was a rumor, and it might have been Candice LeRae, said, "Hey, let's have a mid-card
Women's title, yeah.
Yeah. Something like the Intercontinental Championship."
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, why not? I don't know how well that'll work,
Yeah.
but they've had the women's titles, and then they unfortunately let them out because they weren't really doing enough with them.
Yeah.
Well, it was mostly Trinity and Mercedes that fucked the dog with that. So, now that the tag team titles are back, they're a little bit more relevant, I think. I don't know. Well, I mean, there could be more, I guess.
You say Mercedes and Trinity fuck the dog with the tag titles. Those titles have been fucked since they first came about. It ain't Trinity and fucking Mercedes' fault. WWE don't know what the fuck to do with those goddamn titles.
No.
Them having more relevancy since being brought back. Yeah, who has them now? I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
How often do they get defended? About as often as they got defended for the last, how long have they been around now? 5 fucking years? 4? Whatever the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Either do more with them or fucking get rid of them, for fuck's sakes.
Okay. I mean, we're getting more women's tag teams. So we'll see where that goes. I think that it'll be interesting. Like I said before with the other things that we mentioned in the beginning of this video. It'll be interesting to see what happens in another 5 years. Hell, give it 2 years.
Yeah.
Because when you look at what happened in the 80s, I had no idea they had a women's tag team division.
Yeah.
Like, titles. And what? You had the Jumping Bomb Angels and whatever other tag team that was. I don't know.
I mean, you have the Jumping Bomb Angels, you had Wendy Rector and Judy Martin.
Yeah. The Gorgeous Blondes or whatever their name was.
Something like that, yeah. Those are the 2 main ones I can think of off the top of my head, honestly.
When you don't have a strong women's roster, you need to reevaluate why you're bringing back something that you really don't need. Like, 20 years ago, you did not need the tag team women's championships.
No.
10 years ago, maybe. In fact, I fucking argued that a long time ago. 2015, the women's division was stronger than I have seen it. You had Team Bad, you had Evolution, you had the Riot Squad. It was one of those things where, yeah, maybe not 2015, but still, the teams were getting better. And yet you didn't do much with them. At least now you can try. Because you have Liv Morgan and Tegan Knox. You've got Tamina and whoever the fuck she's teaming with now.
Yeah.
You got Ronda and Shayna. Fucking do something. Or get rid of them.
Because it's like, it's not the women's division has gotten weaker since 2015. If anything, it's been, I would say, probably just as good. And yet, then when you finally decide to bring the two women's tag titles, bring them back, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, there's been several women's tag teams hold them, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But, certain teams will hold them for X amount of time before they lose them to wherever. And it's like, okay. If you have a big enough women's division, you can, have your Becky Lynch's, your Bailey's, your whatever, so on and so forth, go out, as your main title contenders, if you will. And then your, Kai in the Sky.
Which actually they are the women's tag team champions right now.
Yes. Your Tegan Knox and your Liv Morgan. Shayna and your Ronda Rousey. Your Tamina and Emma or whoever the fuck. Your Natalia and whoever the fuck as your secondary, you could say, title contenders. But you won't fucking do it.
No. Yeah, pretty much. My hope is with Triple H in charge, and he fucking knows this too, because he was all for give divas a chance or whatever the fuck that was.
That whole movement.
Yeah, get to it. Like, seriously, you know. If you want that push, if you want to keep those women's tag team titles, then make it irrelevant. Make it worth something.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting into a new era, and it is a slow process, but you can make it happen.
Yeah, you can.
So,
I mean, you've been able to do it for the last, like I said, 4 or 5 fucking years. However long those titles have been in existence. Yet you won't.
no.
What are we missing?
And that's a real damn shame, too. You know, it really is. But as far as this match goes, yeah, it's gonna be Ronda and Shayna.
As far as I'm concerned, they've shared on fucking Tamina for years. Emma, who knows what the hell they're gonna do with her. Ronda and Shayna is like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I could give a fuck less.
Fair enough.
So now we've got the monster of all monsters, Braun Strowman, versus LA Knight.
Yeah!
And you know, when they were having him do the Max Dupree and the Maximum Male models, it's like, okay, it was good for what it was, but like, I don't know, there's just something about it that like, didn't suit him.
No. And, you know, there's that talk about Adam Cole shaving his head and becoming Keith Lee's manager.
Right.
The Bearcat.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things where you have to look at the way Vince ran his Raw and SmackDown
Yeah.
compared to how Triple H, and to a certain extent William Regal, NXT. And it's like, you're taking these guys who are in other companies and they're going to NXT. You have LA Knight, you know, here was obviously Eli Drake.
Mm-hmm.
But you kept guys like Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode and
Yeah.
Eric Young and all those guys, and it was like
Yeah.
really fucking awesome. But then they go over to Raw or SmackDown and they're rebranded.
Yeah.
Absolute horseshit. And sometimes it works, but people are not stupid. They know who the fuck these people are.
Yeah.
So you have Max Dupree, and it eventually goes way back to LA Knight.
Yeah, I mean, the little Max Dupree thing lasted maybe a month, if that. I don't even think it made 2. Went right back to the LA Knight character. And, you know, it like the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. LA Knight is who like Drake was, just slight changes to it.
Yeah, there's no dummy.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, when I first watched Impact for like the full, like whatever, I became a more, I don't want to say hardcore fan, but yeah, he was pretty annoying, but I grew into him.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing, when you have something, once again, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
You know, Robbie E comes over to NXT. He's not, well, obviously he won't be Robbie E, he'll be Robert Stone. Or whatever he is now.
Robert Stone, yes.
Yeah. And I think he's doing a hell of a job.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you don't see too many managers anymore.
You don't see too many managers managing big men. very often anymore. I mean, you got Robert Stone managing Von Wagner. You've got MVP managing Omos.
Right.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, back in the day, you had fucking, Bobby Heenan with the Heenan family, and Andre was a part of that.
Yep. Andre, Big John Studd.
Big John Studd, Harvey Whippleman, and Giant Gonzalez.
Yep. Or Kamala.
Kamala, yeah. I guess you throw in there, Paul Bearer with Undertaker, or Kane,
Yep.
or Vader for a short period of time.
Harley Race and Vader, yeah.
Harley Race and Vader. We could go on and on and on.
Pretty much.
It seems to be like, if you're a big man and you can wrestle and you can talk, they don't feel like they need to put you with a manager.
Yeah.
Probably. In the case of Von Wagner, like, he can talk fairly well, but it's like, with him and Robert Stone, you could almost say it's kind of like, here's another one to throw out there. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar can talk and he's good at it, but with Paul Heyman, it was like, Paul did all the talking, Brock got in the ring, kicked ass, and then left. It was a simple thing, but it was effective and it worked. Not to mention the countless big dudes that Paul Heyman managed.
When you talk about that, you talk about Jim Cornette and Yokozuna.
Yeah.
And I think that really pissed me off too. Because you have Mr. Fuji as Yokozuna's manager.
Right.
And then fucking Jim Cornette comes along and is Yokozuna's American spokesman. Which was really stupid because there was that point in '96 when, fortunately, I wasn't paying attention very much.
Right.
And Yokozuna turned face and started speaking English.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I get the stereotype of a Samoan or a guy who's a sumo wrestler and you don't want him to speak too much English. Why the fuck would you do that?
Here, whoa, before you go off too far in a rant, I want to correct you.
Okay.
Because, yes, he did start speaking more and in English in '96. The thing was, when he was with Mr. Fuji, and even, Jim Cornette, it wasn't he spoke a different language. He never spoke at all. If he spoke, it was only one word, bonsai, that was it.
Yeah, bonsai, of course.
Then, yeah, in '96, he, actually talked, and not just said one word, but, it was what it was.
Say that about Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Here's a guy to coming in with Dave Finley. Fit Finley. I thought his name was Dave.
I think it is.
Oh. Well, no matter. He comes in with Finley.
Mm-hmm.
You don't speak English. You don't think anyways. You do that fucking Christmas episode where he's granted a voice, and hey, now he can talk.
Yeah.
If you can talk, then fucking talk! If you speak broken English, I understand that. If you speak broken English, I understand that. But if you can speak English fluently, then fucking talk. Psycho said Justice needed a manager. Why? Because, yes, he could speak English fluently, but he was a shitty talker.
Yeah. He could talk, but he fucked up so many goddamn times. Another case I just thought of came to mind. British Beefcake early on in his career, he was managed by Luscious Johnny Valiant.
Right.
And he didn't speak.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go a little bit later on, and British Barber Beefcake spoke perfectly fine.
Yeah. See, that's why I need to get into more history, because I know he was a heel.
Right.
With Greg Valentine, I want to say.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, I didn't see too many promos at that time. But once again, And then I can argue that because you take a guy like Jim Harris
Mm-hmm.
and you, well, you know, Sugar Harris or whatever he was, Sugar Bear Harris. And then Mid-Atlantic or some shit.
Okay.
And there's that. You have him coming out as Kamala. And it's like, it's okay. I get it. You know, big African dude. Well, he's not from Africa.
No.
African descent. Okay,
African
well,
descent,
let's
yeah.
go with that. You know? But then you take a guy like the Berserker. Can't remember what his real name was. I
Right.
actually look at Tales of the Territories.
Right.
And his name was mentioned. I think it was, I can't remember what territory it was, but whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
guy built from Norway, he spoke English just fine. He was managed by Mr. Fuji.
Yeah.
It's just a weird concept, and I never really noticed that up until now.
You even look at when Fuji managed the Powers of Pain.
Yes.
Yeah, they could speak English, but, you know, it was, again, along the lines of, you know, Fuji did all the talking, they got in the ring, kicked ass, and left.
Yeah.
Did they need to talk? No, not necessarily. You know, you got two big muscular dudes like that, and, you know, fairly intimidating,
Yeah.
you know. It worked. Now, in the case of, like, let's say the Road Warriors with Paul Ellering, it would be, you know, Animal would say his piece, Hawk would say his piece, Ellering would kind of, you know, put everything all together and make sense of it or whatever, and, you know, that worked too.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
anyways, we're getting sidetracked here a little bit.
Yeah, this won't be the first time. It won't be the last time.
True.
And like I said, there's 3 matches on this card, so fuck off.
Yeah, it gives a break.
Anyways,
I really don't see LA Knight standing a chance.
no,
against Strowman.
I think he's gonna get these hands.
I mean, is he a good wrestler? Sure. Well, absolutely he is. But against a guy like Strowman,
Yeah.
good luck.
If you have LA Knight win, then you have to make him a credible wrestler, a
True.
credible heel,
Yeah.
because you just don't knock somebody out like that, or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Knock him down a peg or two.
pretty much, I think it's gonna be Brian myself.
Yeah.
You know, I know that there was a LA Knight Bray Wyatt feud. I don't know if that's still going.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, you have a back and forth going on between LA Knight and Bray, and then LA Knight gets attacked backstage, and there's a whatever the fuck it was on top of him. It's like, oh, Bray did it, and then Bray's like, no, I didn't do it, and it's like, well, it wasn't him who did it, and that could lead into the, what you'd say they're calling the Wyatt Six, if you will.
Yeah.
We'll see how things progress and where it goes. But yeah.
I mean, I mentioned it, I don't know where. I think it was in a... No, it wasn't even a chat. So I might as well mention it now. It was last week. I saw a photo in backstage. It was Freddie Marcel.
I saw the same thing. It was actually an NXT show. It was probably, I think it may have been like, it actually may have been Deadline, I think. There was, Vinnie Marcellia and Dutch.
Yeah. Yeah.
2/3 of the Righteous.
Yes, yes.
So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see where that goes. And
Yeah, you're right. They did show up in NXT. Which I don't think Schism needs a...
I don't think they'll be with Schism.
No.
Yeah, Schism's already got enough members as it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, to wrap this up... Yeah, Braun Strowman.
Sure!
Yeah. we've got our main event. We have a 6-man tag team. Got Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, and Sheamus, who will take on Imperium.
Gunther, Ludwig, and Da Vinci.
Yes. Isn't that going to be interesting?
Quite. Yeah. You got a Scot, an Irishman, an American, an Austrian, a German, and an Italian.
Yep.
The League of Nations, just kidding.
Sounds like a joke.
Yeah. Where's the punchline?
Yeah. I mean, Imperium have been doing great since they've gotten back together, and it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean, they jumped right out of the gate. Well, okay, Gunther changed his name not long after he kind of joined the main roster. Then they quickly jumped the gun.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say jumped the gun. They quickly transitioned Marcel into Ludwig. And then you had Fabian Aichner stay on NXT for a little bit and, try out this Da Vinci character. And it's like, okay, it's going somewhere, it's good, he's confident, whatever, he's got some wins. Alright, let's put him on SmackDown with Gunther and Ludwig and, reunite Imperium, so to speak. I don't know if it was just like he didn't feel like he was ready for that change, like a name change and like a character change, but I mean, it worked fairly well in NXT, even though it was only for like a few weeks.
Yeah.
And then, return/debut at Clash of the Castle.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's the thing. Take a guy like Walter, and you take him from Progressive Wrestling,
Yes.
or Progress Wrestling, and you bring him to NXT,
Yeah.
and he's the polar bear,
Oh yeah.
and the fucking chops that this guy can do.
Oh god, he can murder people with his chops.
He's not a Tomohiro Ishii, but...
No,
there's
but-
a rumor that WrestleMania 39, you're gonna have Gunther versus Brock Lesnar.
That would be fucking interesting.
That will be fucking interesting. But see, people were pissed off because... they changed his name.
Where?
Yeah. And it's like, the dude lost weight. So he does look different. Not much different, but he looks different. Why not?
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
so comfortable with saying Gunther now.
Gunther, yeah. I mean, he was 297, now he's like 240 something, I think.
Yeah. And it's like Sean Waltman,
Yeah.
You take him from the 1-2-3 kid. Well, no, you take him from the Lightning kid.
Uh-huh.
And then he's a 1-2-3 kid.
Right.
Then he went to WCW and they call him Six Pac.
Yeah.
Then he goes to WWE, X Pac. Again, he changed his character, like he changed the way he looked and, whatever. And I think that was, and that's fine. He changed the way he looked. Grow facial hair, whatever,
Yeah.
fuck. There is no reason why you can't have a name change.
Yeah.
We already know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, like Nikki Cross, when she became Nikki ASH, I still fucking called her Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
That's all dead and buried.
Me too.
So, yeah. In fact, I'm going to bring this up again, because I am going to jizz if I ever see this. Nikki Cross, there was a rumor that Sanity is coming back.
Well, it's interesting you say that because I was watching a video from, I think it was it last? You had Sammy Callahan versus Big Con.
Okay.
And there's, you could say, a stable with Con, Alan Angels, and Diener.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, it's like, okay, I guess Violent by Design is done. Because, Joe Doring is still,
Yeah.
I believe, recovering from, or, dealing with his cancer.
Yeah.
Hope he's doing well. You got Diener's doing the whole thing now with Con and Angels. So, yeah, you could probably see Eric go back to WWE and then bring back Wolf and,
Big Dano.
yeah, Killian Dane.
Yeah.
And, give Sanity a proper, well, no, I shouldn't say give Sanity a proper run, give Sanity a run
Yeah.
on either Raw or SmackDown.
I mean, when you had them come in NXT, and I'm so thankful that I got to see them,
Yes.
it was like they broke up, and Big Dano went somewhere else, Nikki Cross was at Nikki SH, whatever. And then Eric Young just became a generic wrestler.
Yeah.
Well, and he had the Sanity theme, but he wasn't like. So yeah, and yes, it was the pandemic era.
Like, he did talk to himself, but he wasn't, like, as, into it, you could say, as, doing the whole Sanity thing in NXT.
Yeah. But the thing is that, okay, he went on a Chris Van Vliet show, and he was 100% right. Vince McMahon was breaking his company. His company was broken. His
Right.
terms. So, now that he's out, and Triple H is in, and by the way, Triple H is an NXT guy.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So it's like, Eric Young is no longer gonna be in that company anymore for Impact, which means I'm not sure if we'll ever see the World Class Maniac again.
Right.
Maybe he will come back. Eric Young is so fucking talented
Oh, God, yeah.
as a heel, or even a face. I mean,
Oh, yeah, the shit they would do, they did with him before, the, World Class Maniac or World Elite, and him as a heel,
yes,
was
yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, I saw an interview with World Elite, and he was talking. And I'm like, that voice is coming out of that body?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, him as a face was like goofy and dorky and ridiculous, but at the same time, you couldn't help but love it because it was different and it was entertaining as hell.
Yeah, short and sweet, period.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if McIntyre, Ricochet, and Sheamus get the win.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I can see that as well, too.
Yeah.
Especially if Ricochet gets the pin. Because
That would be interesting.
America, this, and surprising the main event for this match, and then we have one American.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, this is going to be, well, I'm going to call it what it is. It's going to be a mediocre show.
Meh.
I mean, you would think 20 years, you would actually put on something a little bit more spectacular than that.
Like, you would think you would go at least 2 hours, let's say, and have... You could go easily 5 matches, I would say.
Yeah. Now, SmackDown is soon.
Yeah.
So I wonder what they're going to do, if they're going to add more matches. I don't know.
Right.
will it be worth doing a play-by-play? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that, but I mean, yeah, I promised last week that we were gonna do this. So,
And not really knowing fully how many matches there were, it's like, alright, we've got this, we'll talk about it, and just roll with it.
pretty much, but anyways, so this is officially, I'm Adam Pierce now,
It is official.
the last episode of Wheels of Fury for 2022.
Yes.
Check out Christmas Eve. We look back at Tribute to the Troops, 2002.
And then 2016?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, well, I said 2003, but I don't even know anymore. So anyways, whatever. So, for me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle. We will talk to you next time. Next year, it's been a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
And fast as fuck as well.
Yeah.
So, we will be back next year. I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do as far as improving the show,
Yeah.
because I'm trying to figure out things for every year.
Yeah.
I know next year we will do 1985, obviously.
Yep.
We've got Hard to Kill. We have New Year's Revolution. We have, well, even going as far as February. So,
Yeah, you got
Revolution. You have,
You got Hard to Kill, you got New Year's Revolution, New Year's Evil, Royal Rumble. I think that's it as far as January is concerned. And going to February, you got NXT Vengeance Day, so after the holidays here, we'll get right back into it
yeah.
come January.
Well, no, because I'm hoping that actually, well, yeah.
We are hoping and planning on doing first in 2 years our New Year's spectacular.
So I'm a liar once again because we can get this going, and we will have a Wheels of Fury New Year's special, long awaited.
Yes.
I know that like I said, we did something earlier in the year. It wasn't the same, but still, we did something.
Yes.
So, well, I'm hoping to get that done, and I'm sure we will.
Right.
So, anyways, we will catch you next time. Deuces.
Until next year.